Okay. Hello, Lee from Prime. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, thank you. You?
Cool. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Lee. So you've just played at Spanky Van Dykes in Nottingham. What? Just explain a little bit about what the gig was. What you were doing here.
It's for Musicians Against Homelessness, which I think is something that's been going a couple of years now. I think Alan McGee started it, who did Oasis's old record company boss, and I think it's just gigs all over the country, really. So it's good to do it.
And do you know the other bands here and the other acts here? Are you familiar?
I do. I've seen Sanji, I think, who's playing now. So Sanji Anand, a good friend from the uni, and Jack Gallier I've seen online and stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing her play. So.
Amazing. So let's go down to Prime business. You've recently released Bye Bye. That was the single, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that was over the summer, wasn't it? So we're in November now.
Yeah.
And so how was that festival? How did that kind of drop, and how did it all kind of?
Went pretty well, really. Just got a fair few downloads and good response to the video and stuff like that. So we filmed the video at the airport and lots of locations that we shouldn't have been hanging around at. Almost got into trouble, but we've got there in the end. So it went nicely and ready to release some new stuff now. We've got a remix of that track coming, so we're hoping on. I think it's the new year now. It's got delayed a little bit, so. Okay. And then we've got hopefully a new single in the spring. So.
Okay, cool. So, and are you still sort of writing, or is it all kind of done now? You're ready to kind of drop them, record them, and
yeah,
drop them?
we've had like 2 or 3 songs that've been in the set for yonks, and they just need recording properly, really. So we're just scouting studios and hopefully record them in Nottingham or locally or something like that if we can, just to keep it simple. But we'll see. We did the last one in London for the Animal Farm people, so they did a really good job. So hopefully get back down there as well in the new year. So.
And is there other stuff in Nottingham? Because obviously Nottingham's got such a sort of thriving music scene. If you're interested in that, there's a video on that on the channel. What other stuff in Nottingham would you maybe recommend, or that you've seen that you're kind of a massive fan of? Does any of that even kind of influence and come into what you do? What's just talk to me about that?
I wouldn't necessarily say influence too much, but we were talking earlier about a band called Cherry Hex and the Dream Church. I really like their stuff. That kind of sticks in my head a bit, so I'm hoping I'm bringing some electronic kind of feel to that. So I really like them. There's some decent bands. There's some decent bands that have been going quite a while actually, and kind of not got any recognition. But I think the scene's probably the best it's been for a long time, really. So there's some good stuff out there, definitely.
Okay, so how do you write a song then? How do you sit down and write a song? Where does it develop, and how does it develop, and what is it that makes you think, okay, this is actually, so let's take Bye Bye for example. What is the moment where you kind of think, this is this is a founded thing?
A founded as in finished?
Yeah, I written, before recording.
Yeah, well, Bye Bye was like done as a jam in the studio. I think no, I tell a lie, it wasn't. It was done on a 4-track demo tape, and we just had guitar, and we overdubbed some bass and a really shit vocal. I can't remember how to swear, hopefully.
Yeah, go for it.
Really shit vocal on my part. I did get better in the end, thankfully, but it took a long time to get right. And then playing it live was a bit of a nightmare. It took a long time to nail. It's one of those weird songs, and it's got a weird bit in the chorus that's kind of off kilter and clashes a little bit, and that confused a lot of people. Confused the guy who's remixing it as well. So it's a bit of a confusing song, but we've got there in the end with it. It's a nice tune. So, but usually it's jams in the studio, or I'll have a song in my head, pretty much finish that off on my own, and then just tell the guys what to play, and then Kieran will come up with some guitar riffs as well, and he'll bring them to me, and then we'll write a song together. So it's varied ways. We used to be more jamming in the studio, but now we're definitely anything goes kind of thing, really.
But in the end, it's your word that goes. You're
I won't go that far. Don't tell them that, but
yeah, but you're the lyric kind of.
Yeah,
you're the lyric man.
Yeah, lyrics and vocals and harmony arrangements. I'll write the harmony, and then the guys will be good enough to sing it. And we have a backing singer from Birmingham as well called Sharina Ingram, who records a lot of stuff with us as well. She's played on the last few recordings. So hopefully I get her back as well, touch wood. She's really good.
Talk to me about the dynamics of Prime, because there's been a bit of a sort of change in lineup, and we were talking off camera a minute ago. I'm not sure if you want to say that yet, but so what is what is Prime at the moment, and is it kind of, are you looking for something quite solid?
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking for solid. It's just sometimes the musicians that you get along, they might be in other bands or they might be doing different projects and stuff, and you've sometimes got to see whether that clashes too much or not enough. So sometimes if somebody's gigging a lot, they've got a big project on the go, and sometimes they can't play the gigs, so we have to look for a different person. But I mean, our drummer recently was supposed to only be there for like a few months, and he ended up staying for a year. So it's but Kieran Hill on lead guitar, he's been with us over a year now, and he's doing a really good job, and touch wood. So, and then we're going to bring a new guitarist in the new year as well on top of that, maybe some keyboards as well. So
wow.
So it's all go.
So it's expanding as well as changing.
Hopefully, man. Yeah. I want to get more into an electronic kind of vibe with keyboards and get some synthesizing in there and stuff like that, and maybe write stuff that's a bit more electronic based rather than just rock. There's only so much rock you can write in there, so you get rid of it.
Okay, so just to get it straight, then you've got new music coming in the new year.
Yeah.
This will be out, in a few days from recording. So music out in the new year. What about shows? Have you got any big things going? You've had quite a good year for shows as well.
Yeah,
haven't you?
we have. Yeah, we've supported some decent bands. I supported Electric Six and Space and Dodgy, and some good old school names. Supported a band called Schizophonics recently from San Diego. They're doing really well, like old school garage rock kind of thing. But yeah, I think we want to collaborate more with up and coming bands now, I think, for the new year, and just kind of get more gigs and stuff if we can afford to get them, touch wood. But some good bands out there, and so hopefully we can get some more gigs on the go.
Very exciting. One final question then, and it's a question I ask to every musical act I interview. I guess, vocalist or instrumentalist or whatever, or poet, someone musical who is for you, the inspiration, the sort of the top one. Can be quite a difficult question for some, but one that you'd say, okay, he or she is absolutely just the one.
I'd say for me, I mean, Jim Morrison and David Bowie, they sneak in there for me. But I think as a songwriting influence, I'd probably say Lou Reed throughout his solo material. I think it's quite a big influence on me, really, I'd say.
Amazing.
Lou Reed all the way.
Lee, thank you very much for chatting with us, and as usually say, good luck with the gig, but yeah, it went fantastic anyway. You didn't need good luck.
I'm going to get drunk now.
Do it. Thank you, Lee.
Cheers, man. Thank you.